then there's a break, and then you guys play one more service. I do something with them.
So I went in. My best friend's brother called my parents and was pretending that
If everyone could grab a seat, we're going to start up our afternoon service.
don't tease us about that. It's like
I got a good joke to start with. I get everybody quiet. I'm going to back this off, James. It's okay.
Yeah, not nearly as many people.
Behind you. Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, everybody. I hope everyone's fast is an easy one up to this point. We're going to be doing the afternoon service, followed by a meditation service, followed by Yizkor, followed by Neilah. Our crowd will be growing as the afternoon goes on, as it traditionally does. I thank you all for being here, though, for our afternoon service. So there's a priest and a rabbi from local congregations, and they're standing by the side of a road, pounding a sign into the ground that reads, "The end is near. Turn yourself around now and be saved before it's too late." "Leave us alone, you religious nuts," yells a driver as he speeds by. From around the curve, they hear screeching tires and a big splash. The rabbi turns to the pastor and asks, "So do you think the sign should just say, 'Bridge out'?" Couldn't we all use some clarity right now? Oh, how I wish I could find a sign or signs that say things like, "Handbook for caring for the houseless," instructions on how to fix our environment, a guide to ending racial inequality and systemic racism, a map for peace in the Mideast. The signage isn't so clear, or even when it is clear, it's not clear to everyone. I guess I'm looking for clarity and unity. Yom Kippur is a day when we are given a chance to seek clarity and unity so that we can move forward. I can only pray that we succeed in today's goals and then become one with others in our attempts to better this world, to fix this world, to unify this world. Soon we'll be hearing the story of Jonah. It's a powerful story. It's a story of a man who ran from his responsibilities. But once he got some clarity while residing in the belly of a big fish, he took a journey and helped transform a society. But we're not at Jonah yet. First, we turn to page 325 for Gesher Sar Me'od, a piece of writing by Rabbi Nachman of Bratslav that Rabbi Ron Stern quoted in his sermon last night. Gesher Sar Me'od, all the world is a narrow bridge. The most important thing is not to be afraid. Top of 327, let us read together. Top of 327. Jacob had a dream, a ladder set on the ground with its top reaching the sky, and angels of God were ascending and descending the ladder. Our sages taught, the Holy One said, Jacob, you must climb as well. But Jacob was afraid and he did not climb up. We want to climb higher, but we're tired, and there's so much to do, and we don't know how to rise. God of becoming, whose name means I will be what I will be, you are the unfinished one, ever unfolding, evolving with your creation. Made in your image, we too are fluid, ever becoming who we will be. Keep us alive to possibilities. Show us a path to growth in mind, heart, and spirit. Help us to find the strength to ascend. The blessings prior to the reading of the Haftorah.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar b'nviim tovim, v'ratza v'divrehem hanemarim bemet. Baruch atah Adonai, הבוחר בתורה ובמשה עבדו ובישראל עמו ובנביאי האמת והצדק.
It's my honor to ask Vanessa Kate to come forward to read the book of Jonah. We are on page 344.
And the word of Adonai came to Jonah. Get up, go to the great city of Nineveh and proclaim against it, for their evil deeds have risen up before me. But instead, Jonah went down to Joppa and found there a ship heading for Tarshish. He paid its fare and went down into it in order to flee to Tarshish, away from the presence of Adonai. The ship set sail, and Adonai hurled a great wind upon the sea, a storm at sea so great that the ship was in danger of being shattered to pieces. The sailors were frightened. They cried out, each to their own god, and flung the ship's cargo into the sea to lighten their load. The sailors feared for their lives and did what they could to prepare for the oncoming storm. But Jonah had gone down into the hold, the lower deck of the vessel, and he lay down and he fell into a deep sleep. The captain approached Jonah, and he said, "What are you doing? Sound asleep. Get up." The sailors decided to cast lots, that they might know on whose account the storm had come. When they cast lots, the lot fell on Jonah. They asked him who he was. He replied, I am a Hebrew. I revere Adonai, God of heaven, who made sea and dry land. The men felt great fear, and they asked him, what have you done? Because they knew he was fleeing from Adonai, for so he had told them when he boarded the ship. And they asked him, what should we do to you to bring calm to the sea around us? For the sea was growing more and more stormy. Jonah answered them, lift me up and hurl me into the sea, and the sea will calm down for you. For I know that this great storm came upon you because of me, and it would be better that I should die. The crew rowed hard to return to dry land, but despite their efforts, they could not do it. For the sea was raging more and more fiercely around them. They called out to Adonai, saying, please, Adonai, please do not let us perish because of the life of this man. And they lifted Jonah and they hurled him into the sea. The sea stopped raging. In thanks, the men revered Adonai, and they offered a sacrifice and made vows. Now, out of the waters came a great fish, which swam swiftly, overtook Jonah, and swallowed him whole. Jonah did not die. He lived, and was in that belly of that fish for 3 days and 3 nights. While there, Jonah prayed to Adonai his God. I called to Adonai in my distress, and God answered me. I cried out from the belly of the netherworld, and you heard my voice. In the depths, you cast me into the heart of the sea, and the floods engulfed me. All your billowing, breaking waves swept over me. And I thought to myself, I was banished from before your eyes. Will I ever gaze again upon your holy temple? The waters closed in over me. The deep engulfed me. Rushes wrapped around my head. I descended to the low point of the mountains. The gates of the earth closed upon me forever. Yet you, Adonai my God, raised up my life from the pit. When my life fainted away, I called Adonai to mind, and my prayer came to you, to your holy temple. They who cling to empty folly forsake their own welfare, but I, with a shout of thanksgiving, I will sacrifice to you. What I have vowed, I will fulfill. Rescue comes from Adonai. Adonai commanded the fish, and it spat Jonah out onto dry land. As Jonah lay on dry land once more, breathing fresh air once more, beneath the sun and sky once more, so the word of Adonai came to Jonah a second time. Get up, go to the great city of Nineveh, and call out to it the proclamation that I tell you. So Jonah got up, and at last he went to Nineveh as Adonai had commanded. Jonah started out and made his way into the city of Nineveh. He called out to the people and simply said, "In 40 days, Nineveh shall be overturned." The people of Nineveh heard Jonah's words, and they trusted them. They trusted in God, and so they proclaimed a fast. They put on sackcloth from the richest to the poorest, and word reached the king of Nineveh, and he himself got up from his throne, discarded his robe, and put on sackcloth and sat in ashes. The king cried out and declared, "By decree of the king and his nobles, no person or beast of flock or herd shall taste anything. They shall not graze, and they shall not drink water. They shall be covered with sackcloth and shall call loudly to God. Let all turn back from their evil ways and from the violence which is in their hands. God may turn and relent, turn back from the heat of rage, and if so, perhaps we shall not perish." God saw what they did, their commitment to turning back from their evil ways, and God relented from the punishment planned for them and did not carry it out. But to Jonah, this was a great evil, and it made him angry. "Please, Adonai," he said, "is this not what I said when I was still in my own country? Before I went to all the time and trouble to come to Nineveh to say the words which you commanded me? This is why I fled to Tarshish to begin with, for I knew that you are a gracious and compassionate God, endlessly patient and abounding in steadfast love, ready to forgive weakness and evil. And now, Adonai, please, just take my life from me, for it is better for me to die than to live." Adonai responded, "Is your anger so dear to you?" Jonah stormed off and left the city. He found a secluded place to the east of the city and made himself a shelter there. Jonah decided to wait in the shade of his shelter until he might see what would become of the city of Nineveh. As Jonah waited, Adonai Elohim provided a gourd and made it rise up over Jonah to give shade for his head as the sun beat down. And Jonah rejoiced. He was filled with great joy because of the gourd, and he went to sleep happy. But at dawn of the next day, God provided a worm that attacked the gourd, and it withered. And as the sun rose, God provided an oppressive wind from the east, and the sun beat down on Jonah's head, making him faint. Jonah begged for death, saying, "It is better for me to die than to live." But God asked Jonah, "Are you angry about the gourd?" And he said, "I am good and angry to the point of death." Then Adonai said, "You pitied the gourd and loved the gourd, which you neither worked for nor grew, which appeared overnight and then perished overnight. Should I then not have compassion for the great city of Nineveh, a place of more than 120,000 human beings who have repented? Where is your compassion? Why can you not love? Why can you not forgive?"
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, tzur kol haolamim, tzadik bechol hadorot, האל הנאמן, האומר ועושה, המדבר ומקיים, שכל דבריו אמת וצדק. על התורה ועל העבודה ועל הנביאים, ועל יום השבת ועל יום הכיפורים הזה, שנתת לנו, אדוני אלוהינו, לקדושה ולמנוחה, לכבוד ולתפארת. על הכל, אדוני אלוהינו, אנחנו מודים לך ומברכים אותך, יתברך שמך בפי כל חי תמיד לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת וישראל ויום הכיפורים.
Each year we read the story of Jonah, about a prophet who doesn't want to be a prophet, about a prophet whose prophecy doesn't even come true. And this morning I talked a lot about prophets and prophecy, about true prophets and false prophets. And here we have an example of someone who's called a prophet. And we see that he has conversations with God, which is one of the elements of prophecy. But then his prophecy does not come true. And yet somehow he takes this all so personally. And so on one level, Jonah is a successful prophet. People listened to him. They changed. But he's also a failed prophet because his prophecy didn't come true. And from that aspect, from having his prophecy not come true, he feels like a failure. How often does that happen to us? We take something personally that really has nothing to do with us in any way. How often do we, expect something to happen? And when it doesn't, we think it's, our personal liability. We need to not be like Jonah. We need to realize that even when we have a message to give, we can't forget the goal. The goal wasn't the destruction of a city. The goal was the elevation of the people. And he managed to elevate the people. All the while, all he wanted was destruction. While in that belly of the fish, we see Jonah make promise after promise after promise to God. It seems that when we're in our most desperate straits, we can make a lot of promises. And what does that fish do to Jonah after all those promises? He pukes him up. He can't take any more of Jonah's promises. So we learn another lesson about Jonah. Sometimes making promises you don't mean except the most dire of situations aren't promises worth making. They aren't promises people want to hear when your back is up against a wall. Because that's what Jonah does. So Jonah, he's a man who'd rather see the destruction of a city than a people elevated. He's a man who will say anything in order to get out of the stomach of a fish. He's a man who thinks about the tree above his head, even though he did not plant that tree. Why does Jonah flee? Well, Jonah flees and doesn't want to become a prophet because he doesn't want to be made a fool of. Because he wants Nineveh destroyed and he knows God won't do it. Because he has a problem with God, because he doesn't like to be forced to do anything, because he's afraid to face the Assyrians, because he wants to retain God's divine integrity. He knows that if people repent, God will forgive. And he doesn't like that. God is not simply forcing Jonah to do the right thing, but also spends time trying to have Jonah understand why he was having him do the right thing. Chesed, kindness, is not only for God. It is something that a messenger of God needs to learn. In this story, God isn't giving up on people in any way. God has faith that the people of Nineveh will have the ability to change. Who he's trying to change actually is Jonah. Who God is actually trying to change is each one of us. Because each one of us is Jonah. Each one of us has a message we want to give or we're being told to give, and yet we're too scared to give it. We're too scared of repercussions. We're too scared of how it will be perceived. And so we don't. We just give up. But God doesn't give up on people. If we look at the structure of this story, well, we see how much of it is devoted to Jonah. God cares about Jonah. God cares about a man who doesn't want to do his job. And then we see how this care is even shared with the people of Nineveh. How God cares for them, cares for their animals, cares for the multitude, while also caring for the individual, while caring for Jonah. So let's remember that Jonah is an example of, well, who we are, but who we shouldn't be. An example of how we need to take a holy message and share it with full heart and not run from it. We continue with a reading found in our voice. I'm going to move to page 10 in this book. A piece by Jonathan DeGan, who is in our choir, and I see him making a face. I'm on page 10. I write out each of my regrets. The words spin off the page as yarn, knit like a sweater on my back, weighed down from being rained upon by lives whose days could otherwise, a little bit less burdened, be through my consideration served from cups of my humanity. The secrets kept from those we love, the pennies gained in mild deceit, the insults dropped to hoist our pride, the honor cowered in retreat, land ripped apart in arrogance, destruction in impatient haste, a mind closed to a counsel fair, tears, time, and life down into waste. Tears, time, and life down into waste. For some, our sins are paid in fire, or spooled out on a movie screen, which we review and pay in shame, aware of where our fault has been. But here on earth we live and learn. Our conscience should never be gone, so that our burdens fall and flow into a stream that leads us on. We turn to page 356. We rise for the Amidah, the standing prayer. Page 356. We pray silently from page 360 to page 410. Please remember the areas in gray are creative interpretations of the white pages. Feel free to read the gray, the white, or selections from each. page 360 to 410, silently. Please be seated when you're done praying.
לשוני מרע, ושפתי מדבר לימה, ונמקד אליי נפשי תדום, ונפשי כעפר לכל תהיה אלוהי, אלוהי. בתורתך שומעים ברע, ושפתיים מדבר מרמה. ונתקל אליי נפשי תדום, ונפשי כעל עפור, היא אלוהי, אלוהי. יהיו לרצון עם רפי, והגיון ליבי לפניך, אדוני.
We turn to page 416 for the Ashamnu, the short confessional. I ask everyone to please rise. We are on the bottom of page 416. We'll take our right fist, place it over our hearts. We will do it first in English, and then our choir and our cantorial soloists will lead in the chanting. Of these wrongs we are guilty. We betray, we steal, we scorn, we act perversely, we are cruel, we scheme, we are violent, we slander, we devise evil, we lie, we ridicule, we disobey, we abuse, we defy, we corrupt, we commit sins, we are hostile, we are stubborn, we are immoral, we kill, we spoil, we go astray, we lead others astray. The singing of Ashamnu. Please remain standing. We are on page 418 with a long confessional. I'll read the first line in Hebrew, then you will join me in English. Al chetcha atanu lefanecha, the ways we have wronged you deliberately and by mistake, and harm we have caused in your world through insincere promises. Al chetcha atanu lefanecha, the ways we have wronged you by judging others unfairly, and harm we have caused in your world by making light of serious matters. Al chetcha atanu lefanecha, the ways we have wronged you by giving in to our hostile impulses, and harm we have caused in your world through Al chetcha hatanu lefanecha, the ways we have wronged you through our innermost thoughts, and harm we have caused in your world through the words of our mouths. Al chetcha hatanu lefanecha, the ways we have wronged you through lies and deceit, and harm we have caused in your world by mistreating a friend or neighbor. Al chetcha hatanu lefanecha, the ways we have wronged you by hating without cause, and harm we have caused in your world through hypocrisy. Bi'al kulam Elohai slichot, slach lanu, mechal lanu, kaper lanu. For all these failures of judgment and will, God of forgiveness, forgive us, pardon us, lead us to atonement. Top of page 420. Al chetcha atanu lefanecha, the ways we have wronged you openly and secretly, and harm we have caused in your world through our thoughtlessness. Al chetcha atanu lefanecha, the ways we have wronged you by profaning your name in public, and harm we have caused in your world through offensive speech. Al chetcha atanu lefanecha, the ways we have wronged you through gossip and rumor, and harm we have caused in your world through disrespect to parents and teachers. Al chetcha atanu lefanecha, the ways we have wronged you through narrow-mindedness, and harm we have caused in your world through dishonesty in business. Al chetcha atanu lefanecha, the ways we have harmed you through sexual immorality, and harm we have caused in your world through consumption of food and drink. Al chetcha atanu lefanecha, the ways we have wronged you by betraying trust, and harm we have caused in your world through impulsive acts of malice. Bi'al kulam Elohai slichot, slach lanu, mechal lanu, kaper lanu. For all these failures of judgment and will, God of forgiveness, forgive us, pardon us, lead us to atonement.
Oh
You may be seated. Page 436. It is written, "Know before whom you stand," but in truth we do not know. Perhaps we stand before our history, a chronicle of stubbornness, quiet heroism, and the will to live. Perhaps it is memory of those who struggled to be human in a world that was dark and cold. Perhaps it is Torah that summons us to rise, the golden chain of tradition, a reverence for learning, permission to question and doubt. Perhaps we stand before ideas that call us to do justice, to love kindness, and to walk humbly on this earth. Perhaps it is awe at the kinship of all that live, or the unknowable, unnameable mystery that brought us here. We stand here, seekers, doubters, and those who are firm in their faith. And this we know: the day is short, the work immense, the laborers are reluctant, the reward is great, and the need is urgent. This concludes the afternoon service. We're going to take a 2-minute break before we begin our meditation service. After our meditation service, we'll take another short break and move into our Yizkor service. And after Yizkor, we'll take another short break and move into Neilah. We're going to set the timer, though, for 2 minutes. 2 minutes, please. And we're going to begin again in 2 minutes.
Gotta get that wedding. Go get it right now. Right now. Let's do it. Just go out there on the street. Who needs a wedding? I had a wedding that had some stuff on Friday. It's just the life, man. As an organization. I know I did my bachelor's in piano, but I did my master's in gospel music, like organ studies and did that stuff. It's so much fun. It's super fun. Like, it's kind of like when people say, "Oh, we're gonna do a program of French organ music," and I go, "Oh, okay, so why don't we do a program of American jazz music?" Like you're just saying organ music. American jazz music, that's jazz. That's jazz. That's like good. Again, sorry, I wanted to make that comparison. You received the brunt of it.
I'm here for it.
You have 45 more seconds.
I don't know, because there's another one. Everything goes until 6:30. But I don't know. There's a quinceañera right here. In room 8. You're gonna be up there right now. We're confused completely here. Quinceañeras and we got a Unitarian.
Is Jessica in the room? Is Jessica or any staff in the room? Wayne. So once we begin the service for 20 minutes during the meditation and reflection service, we're not going to let anyone in. So move in and get your seat. You told Jessica? Great, thank you. Lisa Hanish, I'd like to start. Lisa Hanish. Brooke and Skylar, get that selfie. Okay, thank you, Brooke. I appreciate that. Can we have the back door closed? I believe Jessica's out that way. No one's by the back door. Can you let Jessica know we're starting? James, just tell people that we're starting, and once we close the door, we are going to try to keep it closed. We have some seats up in front. We have some seats over there. If you've got extra seats near you, raise your hand. I think there's some spaces over there. Look at some hands, and we have seats here and there. Got 4 seats right up front. We have that second row right there. You don't really need any of that anymore, do you? No. The whole second row behind you is open, isn't it? I'm going to ask everyone to take a deep breath in and out. In and out. In and out. The next 20 minutes or so are a gift from Joel and I to all of you. It's 20 minutes where we read some poetry, we do some guided imagery exercises, we sing a melody or two. You don't need a book, you don't need a tallis, you don't need anything. Just sit comfortably. We're not going to ask you to rise at any moment. These are 20 minutes where you can listen to us or just drift off into your own thoughts. We just ask that you're comfortable. And if you haven't had a chance for self-reflection today, this is the time to do it. So I begin with a poem. I wrestled with God, and I was victorious. The Almighty grabbed my hand, but I pulled away. The Almighty grasped for my ankle, but I avoided God's touch. The Almighty lunged, but I was too nimble. I wrestled with God, and I was victorious. I ignored God's whispers. I ignored God's shouts. I ignored God's messages. I wrestled with God, and I was victorious. I saw injustice and avoided involvement. I saw bigotry, and I did not let its sorrow touch my soul. I saw what was right, and I turned away. I wrestled with God, and I was victorious. Every year my heart is hardened. Every year my garment becomes more soiled. Every year I promise to change, but the words are lost to inaction. I wrestled with God, and I was victorious. I was victorious. I defeated goodness, rationality, and my soul. I took my own path without regard to holiness. I wrestled with God, and I was victorious. But today is different. Today, God holds me. Today, God loves me. Today, God forgives me. Today, I pray that God is the victor. And now the singing of Return Again.
Return again, return to the land of your soul. Return again, return again, return to the land of your soul. Return to who you are, return to what you are, return to where you are born and reborn again. Return to who you are, return to what you are, return to where you are born and reborn again. Return again, return again.
this morning's Torah portion is called Nitzavim, and it means here we stand. And while I didn't talk about this meaning this morning, the idea on Yom Kippur of reading this is that we stand ever so still. We stand in place so we can understand where we are at this moment. Because by understanding where we are at this moment, we can move forward. So we're going to do a breath exercise with the word nitzavim. Here we stand. And we're going to take a deep breath in. And on the exhale, say ni, ni. Breathe in on sa, sa. And out on zim, zi. In ni. Out za, za. In zim, zim. Out za. In zim. Out ni, ni. In za, za. Out zim. And now only on the out breaths, let us breathe in and out and say ni, ni. Take a deep breath in. On the out, say za, za. A breath in. Say zim, zim. Breath in and say here, here. Out, we. Stand, breathe in, stand. On the out breath, here, here. Breathe in. On the out breath, we. Breathe in on the word stand, and then say stand on the out breath, stand. Repeat after me. Here we stand. Ni sa vim. Here we stand. Ashivenu. Take a few moments for guided meditation. Put your feet flat on the floor if they reach the floor. Sit up tall and straight. Let your shoulders relax. close your eyes or soften them, whichever you prefer. And let's take another deep breath in and out. In and out. In and out. Take your hands and ball them into a tight fist on this in breath. In, balling your fist tightly, holding them tight, and then relaxing your fist on the breath out. In, ball up your fist. Out, relax. In, ball up your fists. Out, relax. Let your hands lay comfortably in your lap. On this breath in, have your shoulder blades touch behind you. Deep breath in and out, relax. In, out. One more time, let your shoulder blades touch. In and out. Let your chin drop to your chest. And on this breath in, roll your head slightly to the left or to the right, to a position that's comfortable for you. Breathe in and roll your head. Hold it there for a moment. Breathe out and relax. Breathe in and take your head to the other direction. In. Hold it. Out. Relax. In and roll your head. Out and relax. In and roll your head. Out and relax. Keep breathing in slowly and deeply. But imagine yourself as you do, standing in an empty room. You gaze out a giant window. Light pours through that window. The light lands on the ground in front of you. See the light, see the window, see the way the light hits the ground. You stand in the shadows just outside of that light, and you stare out the window. You see a city, you see the country, you see a backyard or a front yard, a specific street. What do you see? From whatever you see, a person begins to approach. Someone who needs to ask you for forgiveness. Someone you know. Who is this person? What does this person look like? What is this person wearing? What is your relationship? Imagine that person coming to you. They come to the window, and the person's voice penetrates, a muffled voice, a voice asking for forgiveness within an apology. What do they need forgiveness for? Listen to their words. Step out of the shadows and into the light. Open the window. Respond. What words do you use? How do you forgive this person? Take a moment and forgive them now. You forgive. The person thanks you and then leaves. How do you feel? Has your burden been lightened? Take a deep breath in and out. In and out. Slowly open your eyes, knowing that forgiveness frees you and anger imprisons you. Forgiveness allows you to make peace with others, with yourself, and to move forward with hope. Yehiyu l'ratzon.
יהיו לרצון עם רפי והגיון ליבי לפניך יהיו לרצון עם רפי והגיון ליבי לפניך Adonai Tzuri, Adonai Tzuri, Adonai Tzuri, Vegoali. Adonai Tzuri, Adonai Tzuri, Adonai Tzuri, Vegoali. יהיו לרצון עם רפי והגיון ליבי לפניך יהיו לרצון עם רפי והגיון ליבי לפניך Adonai Tzuri, Adonai Tzuri, Adonai Tzuri, Vegoali. Adonai Tzuri, Adonai Tzuri, Adonai Tzuri, Vegoali. עם רפי בהגיון ליבי לפניך.
This concludes our meditation and reflection service. We're going to set our timer for, say, 3 minutes. Evan, set it for 3 minutes. We'll begin again with Yizkor in 3 minutes. You will need a Yizkor book. I believe if you don't have a Yizkor book, you'll get them outside the door. And I'm going to ask Wayne to let Jessica know she can let people in again. we're going to begin Yizkor in just a moment. Please grab your seats. Evan, give me another minute. You need a Yizkor book for this service. You need a Yizkor book.
Oh, no, 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 no. I know that.
There's something. If everyone could have a seat. Yeah, go. Do you have your stuff? Great. Before we begin Yizkor today, I'm going to ask everyone to take a seat, and I'm going to invite up our president, one of our two presidents, Cynthia Deculus. I almost said Cynthia DeGan. I almost merged you two into one person at this hour. Cynthia Deculus, to share a few words on this Yom Kippur before we do our Yizkor service. Come over. Wait, let's get it on. James, can we get this mic on?
Good afternoon, Lashana Tova. I'm Cynthia Deculus, co-president of Kol Tikvah. And you may be thinking this is a little unusual, because it is. This is the first time that a temple president has come up to give an appeal speech during this sacred service. And I apologize for disrupting your solemn meditation and bringing the topic in to this service, but it's a different kind of year. and we really need your attention. First, it's a really complicated time for the Jewish people around the world and at home. Hostages are still captive. War is waging on more than one front. Anti-Semitism is rampant, and Jews are sadly being used as political pawns with the potential of stoking even more hatred and violence. It's very hard to even talk with each other about the gravity of the situation because we need to respect all the conflicting opinions and emotions. But it's also a really complicated time right here at Kol Tikvah. This building that we're in, the reality of it is that despite holding many, many beautiful memories, it has many limitations. And as it ages and struggles to keep up with new codes, the demand for capital investment is quite daunting. Where does it come from? We have no endowment, and we have no rainy day fund. Our dues and our fundraising barely pay the bills. And for the modest salaries of our small but mighty staff who are always here to take care of us. There's no easy solution when the roof leaks, the freezer breaks down, or the air conditioning in our school upstairs goes out, all three of which happened this year. With everything going on in the world, it's the most important time to rededicate our commitment to Judaism and to make our Jewish community stronger than ever. Kol Tikvah is our safe spiritual home where we find joy in the midst of the sorrow. So I wanted to come up tonight on behalf of Tina and me so that you can get to know us better and feel comfortable talking to us about all of these difficult topics. My children, Julian and Danielle, were raised here from preschool to confirmation and still consider this their home away from home. My husband, BJ, despite not being raised Jewish, is a very active member of our community and was on the bima earlier today playing music with Coldplay for our youngest families. My parents are always here with us because they are being honored on the memorial wall in the back, which is especially meaningful as we gather together for this Yizkor service. And I have been very active and proudly served on committees and the board for nearly 10 years, and I couldn't imagine my life without this place, with the friendships I've built here and my relationship to the clergy. I give my time and my money to Kol Tikvah because after a long work week, I'm always greeted warmly or with a joke when I climb the hill and walk through the doors on a Friday night, or when I walk into the sanctuary on a high holy day like today. I find solace in our prayers and traditions, and I'm guessing you do too, or you would not be here. Please think about how you feel about being Jewish, about how you feel about the state of the Jewish community locally and abroad and our need to protect it, and how you feel about Kol Tikvah when you walk through those doors. We need you to prioritize and Kol Tikvah and support that feeling. We have an annual campaign of $100,000 this season, and we haven't yet met that goal. So I ask you, please, give what you can. We need financial support from everyone. You can't count on other people's generosity. That's the only way to ensure that we'll all be here together again for years to come. So please take a moment. There are cards on your seats. There's a QR card. You can go to koltikvah.org and donate. You can give the card to one of our many ushers or leave it on your way out the door. And if you're not a member of this congregation, or you used to be a member of this congregation, please come back, join us. We need to stick together, and affiliation with a Jewish community is key to our survival. Tonight, we're about to honor all the loved ones who have passed. We need to keep Kol Tikvah strong for them and for the next generation of families who come through these doors. Thank you.
Yizkor. Yizkor, to remember. And 4 times a year we come together to remember. We come together on Yom Kippur and we come together on our 3 major festivals. But for some reason, the Yizkor that lands on Yom Kippur seems to be more elevated than the rest. It brings more people into this sanctuary. It's a day when we're reflecting about our own lives, so it makes sense. Because as we reflect about our own lives, we reflect on the lives of those who came before us. We think about those who have died, parents, siblings, good friends. And we think about how, well, they affected us. And we think about the mistakes we've made that they possibly did not make. And how we can do better, how we can be more like them. So in many ways, our personal reflection for Yom Kippur goes hand in hand with our Yizkor reflections. Our souls are bound to the souls of those who have gone before us. We're going to turn to page 3 in our book. And the book you hold is filled with creative writings from a workshop we held a number of years ago. These pieces are written by congregants, by clergy, and they're all reflections. Well, reflections on the passings of people they loved. Today we remember. We remember the faces of those we loved and lost, photographs in the albums of our lives, some faded with age, others vivid, defying decay, all precious keepsakes. We remember the times we shared with them, moments big and small that burned so bright. They stayed with us through the years, like the light of distant stars that keep shining long after they are gone. We remember their warmth, their wisdom, their kindness, all that was good in them. These qualities seem greater today, while their flaws that annoyed us so much when they were alive seem more trivial, easy to forgive. Perhaps love has a greater shelf life than anger, or perhaps some things we can only see clearly and appreciate truly from a distance. We remember words heard and said, words we will treasure forever, and words we wish we could take back. If these people were here with us now, what would we say to them? What will we wish for them to say to us? It seems that out of millions of words in the human language, life boils down to 3. I love you. We remember their touch, their smile, how they made us feel when they were at their best. They have left behind a handprint on our hearts and forever changed our lives by being a part of them. In a way, we are them, their legacy, the evidence they mattered. Yesh kochavim.
There are stars up above, so far away we only see their light. Long, long after the star itself is gone. And so it is with people that we loved. Their memories keep shining ever brightly, though their time with us is done. But the stars stars that light up the darkest night. These are the lights that guide us as we live our days. These are the ways we remember. We remember as we live our days. These are the ways we remember. יש כוכבים שאורם מגיע ארצה, רק כאשר הם עצמם עבדו מנם. יש אנשים שזיו זכרם מאיר, כאשר הם עצמם אינם עוד בתוכנו. אורות אלה הם מבהיקים בחשכת הליל. הם שמראים לאדם את הדרך, as we live our days. These are the ways we remember. We remember as we live our days. These are the ways we remember. We remember. We remember. We remember.
Page 7, Adonai Ma'adam. Adonai Ma'adam, Adonai, what are we that you have regard for us? What are we that you are mindful of us? We are like a breath. Our days are as a passing shadow. We come and go like grass, which in the morning shoots up, renewed, and in the evening fades and withers. You cause us to revert to dust, saying, "Return, O mortal creatures." Would that we were wise, that we understood where we are going. For when we die, we carry nothing away. Our glory does not accompany us. Mark the wholehearted and behold the upright. They shall have peace. Adonai, you redeem the soul of your servants, and none who trusts in you shall be desolate. We turn to page 8. A poem by Sandy Kalin. My grandmother's challah, fresh out of the oven. My mother's strudel, the sweet smell of apples and cinnamon. My aunt's Hungarian goulash, redolent with paprika. A neighborhood bakery, an open kitchen window, the local ethnic restaurant. Walking to a meeting, mind focused on my work, an aroma hits me, transporting me back. I remember those comforting times, ensconced in a kitchen nook, enveloped in the aromas of my family. Those cooks of my childhood are gone now, but are forever in my heart, coming back to me in the aromas of the kitchen. We turn to page 9. For Esai Enai, I lift my eyes to the mountains.
Adonai עושה שמיים וארץ עזרי מעם אדוני עושה שמיים וארץ אשא עיני אל ההרים מאין יבוא עזרי אשא עיני אל ההרים מאין יבוא עזרי.
We turn to page 10 where we read responsively. Page 10. Adonai Roi, God is my shepherd. Lo exar, I shall not want. But right now we do want. We want the laughter, smiles, and spirits of those who have gone before us, because our hearts are broken, because our lives will never be the same. The cycle of life and death makes no sense. Where is our shepherd? Where is God? Adonai Roi, God is my shepherd. Lo exar, I shall not want. Adonai Roi, God is my shepherd. Lo exar, I shall not want. Adonai Roi, God is my shepherd. Lo exar, I shall not want. The singing of the 23rd Psalm.
Adonai Roi, lo exar, binot שירביצני על מי מנוחות, על מי מנוחות ינהלני. נפשי ישובב, ישובב, ינחני במעגלי צדק, ינחני במעגלי צדק, למען שמו. גם כי ילך בגץ על מוות, לא יירא, לא יירא, כי אתה עמדי. שבטך ומשענתך המה ינחמוני. תערוך לפניי, לפניי שולחן נגד צורריי, דשנת ושמן ראשי, כוסי רוויה. אך טוב ירדפוני כל ימי חיי, כל ימי חיי, ושבתי בבית אדוני לאורך ימים. אדוני רואי לא אחסר, אדוני רואי לא אחסר.
We are on page 12. I push the wheelchair into the sunlight. My father reaches up to kiss my cheek. We sit in silent camaraderie, the sun's warmth filtering through the trees, spring painting new leaves on branches, the scent of roses in the air. My father's labored breathing interrupts the birdsong melody. His eyes close as he turns inward. Our paths begin to diverge. Soon I will be alone in the garden, the breeze carrying the memory of his kiss. Eli, Eli, page 13. Please rise. We are on page 17 for the Yizkor prayer. I'm going to read the first line in Hebrew and then take a moment for you to quietly say the names of the people you've come to remember. And then I will continue on in English. Take a moment. Begin to think of those people that have passed that you need to say their names out loud this afternoon. Yizkor Elohim Nishmot Yikarai. May God remember forever my dear ones. Please, list your dear ones. May God remember forever my dear ones who have gone to their eternal rest. May they be at one with the one who is life eternal. May the beauty of their lives shine forevermore. And may my life always bring honor to their memory. And together we say, Amen. We take a moment to reflect on those we have lost. When you're done with your reflection, you may be seated.
Didn't I show you I cared? Didn't you know that you mattered? Wasn't it a great life that we shared? But time kept ticking. Our lives kept slipping. Now that this journey is over, somehow it doesn't seem fair. I can't hold the wind, I can't slow the tide, I can't stop the rivers from flowing, I can't hold the tears, I can't slow the ride, I can't stop the seasons from coming and going. I hope that I told you I loved you. I hope that I showed you I cared. I hope that you know that you matter. What a great life we did share. What a great journey we shared. My daughter, for those of you who don't know. Amen.
We turn to page 15. We're going to do a Yizkor prayer for martyrs, and you'll see on page 14 that we have a message that states in memory of the over 1,200 people who were murdered in their homes, towns, and communities confronting Hamas terrorists during the brutal attack on October 7th, 2023. Together, let's read the prayer on the bottom of 15 in English. May God remember forever our brothers and sisters of the house of Israel who gave their lives for the sanctification of the divine name. May they be at one with the one who is life eternal. May the beauty of their lives shine forevermore. May my life always bring honor to their memory. Please rise. We are on page 23 for El Malay Rachamim. El Malay is that prayer that we sing to God's presence, the presence that gives miracles, the presence that protects those who have died. And we ask this presence, called the Shekhinah, to protect the souls of those that we love. El Malay Rachamim, page 23.
מלא רחמים, שוכן במרומי, המצא מנוחה נכונה, תחת כנפי השכינה. עם קדושים וטהורים, כזוהר הרקיע, מזהירי. לנשמות יקירנו שהלכו לעולמים. בעל הרחמים, יסתירם בסתר כנפיו לעולמים. ויצרור בצרור החיים את נשמתם. אדוני הוא נחלתם. ואנוכו בשלום על משכבם, ונאמר אמן.
Together in English, fully compassionate God on high, to our loved ones who have entered eternity, grant clear and certain rest with you in the lofty heights of the sacred and pure, whose brightness shines like the very glow of heaven. Source of mercy, forever enfold them in the embrace of your wings. Secure their souls in eternity. Adonai, they are yours. They will rest in peace. Amen. We turn to page 41 for the mourner's Kaddish. For every generation there is one which ends, but they are never totally gone. They leave their memories and their influence on everything we do. How many things we do because our great-grandparents did them, and our grandparents, and our parents. If we forget them, we lose part of ourselves. So we must remember them and honor them each and every day. This way we are united with our ancestors and with generations to come. Our heritage dictates a unique community which spans all generations. Please join me on page 41. Yitgadal v'yikadash shmei Rabba, v'alma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayachon v'yumechon v'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, v'agala v'yizman kari v'imru. Yehi shmei Rabba mivarak leolam olamei amaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabak v'yitba'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei dekudsha b'rechu. Neilah min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechemata, damiran bi'alma v'imru. Yehi shlama rabba min shmaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru. Amen. May the one who makes peace on high grant peace for all who mourn, for all Israel, and for all humankind. And together we say, Amen. This concludes our Yizkor service. We're going to begin Neilah in about 3 minutes, if we can set a 3-minute timer. If you are not staying for Neilah, please leave quietly. Take your books with you. You're welcome to them. There is a complimentary community breakfast after Neilah, so I recommend that you all do stay for Neilah. If you have not had the experience of Neilah, of going up to the Torah as the sun is about to set, you have truly missed something wonderful. I do say it's the highlight of the day, Neilah, or maybe the low light of the day. Evan, can we get a 3-minute timer? Neilah is the best service of the day. I'm selling. Tina DeGan. Tina DeGan. I need help. Oh no, there it is. It's all over there. Never mind. I was looking for challah, and no, I don't need that yet. I just want to know where it was. I got it. Never mind. We're beginning in under a minute. Please take a seat or leave the room. Those are your choices. My wording isn't good right now, I can tell. Come on in, take a seat. Take a seat. Let's get Neilah started. Please grab a seat. We're going to begin. And we're rolling right now, aren't we? Great. We got an image. That's a great picture of a chair. Who's on camera? Somebody hit the camera. Oh, it's Adam being creative. Arochat Tov. Good afternoon, everybody. Let's all go shh. The Baal Shem Tov. The Baal Shem Tov taught that in the heavenly court, there is no one who can judge you for what you have done in your life on earth. So this is what they do. They show you someone's life, all the achievements, all the failures, all the right decisions, all the wrong decisions, and then they ask you, so what should we do with this somebody? And you give your verdict, and they always accept your verdict. And then they tell you that this somebody was you. Today you have judged yourself. Of course, those who tend to judge others favorably have a decided advantage. So perhaps you should get into the habit now of judging others favorably, so you can judge yourself favorably. Today we focus our energies on Tikkun Olam, healing the world, Tikkun Mishpacha, healing our family, Tikkun Nafshi, healing our soul. You see, today is a day of second chances. Today, history tells us we received the second set of tablets from Mount Sinai. Today, we are taught, is the day Noah saw dry land. Today is the day we can move forward, new and renewed. And if you haven't fully focused on change, fully focused on improvement, you still have a chance. You see, Yom Kippur is a reminder to reflect. But any day is a good day to check on your soul, to take a look at the story of your life. And now the singing of Ozi Zimrat Yah.
Ozi וזמרת יה ויהי לי לישועה עוזי וזמרת יה ויהי לי לישועה
Page 612, let us read together. Page 612. The long day is over and the gates are closing. Slowly day fades into dusk. Soon the earth will darken. Our bodies weak and weary, our inner strength undiminished. This day has been a gift. Uncluttered time, free from hurry and routine, appointments or assignments. A time to face our sins and imperfections, our dreams and yearnings for the life we want to live. A time to leave the clamor of the world and attend to the voice within. Long ago, the temple gates were locked at dusk. So too at this hour, the gates of Yom Kippur begin to close. Have we done all that needed to be done and said everything that needed to be said? The gates of God's compassion never close. But soon enough, our lives close in on us. Now in the silence of the soul, now before the holy day comes to an end, release the unshed tears, the deepest prayers locked in our hearts. We continue with the Amidah. I'm going to ask everyone to rise. We are on page 622. 622. Remember us for life, sovereign God who treasures life. Seal us in the book of life, for your sake, God of life.
Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'ezrat Sarah.
The bottom of page 626. Your life-giving power is forever, Adonai, with us in life and in death. You liberate and save, cause dew to descend, and with mercy abundant, lovingly nurture all life. From life to death, you are the force that flows without end. You support the falling, heal the sick, free the imprisoned and confined. You are faithful even to those who rest in the dust. Power beyond power, from whom salvation springs, sovereign over life and death, who is like you? Merciful God, who compares with you? With tender compassion, you remember all creatures for life. Faithful and true, worthy of our trust, you sustain our immortal yearnings. In you we place our undying hopes. Baruch atah Adonai, Mechaye HaKol, wellspring of blessing, power eternal. You are the one who gives and renews all life. We continue silently through page 639. You may be seated when you're done with your silent prayer. I ask everyone to rise. We are on page 653 for the Ashamnu, the short confessional. Please rise if you are physically able at this time. If not, you may remain seated. We'll do it in English together, and then we will do it in Hebrew, following our choir. Of these wrongs we are guilty. We betray, we steal, we scorn, we are cruel, we scheme, we are violent, we slander, we devise evil, we lie, we ridicule, we disobey, we abuse, we defy, we corrupt, we commit crimes, we are hostile, we are stubborn, we are immoral, we kill, we spoil, we go astray, we lead others astray. The Ashamnu.
Ashamnu, Bagadnu, Gazalnu, Dibarnu Tofi, Hevinu, Vehirshanu, תאפלנו שקר, לי רה רי רי רי, יא רה רה רי רי רי, יא לה לה לי רי רי. יעצנו רע, כיזבנו, לעצנו, מרדנו, ניאצנו, שררנו, אבינו, פשענו, צררנו, קישינו עורף, לי רה רי רי רי, יא לה לה לי רי רי, יא לה לה לי רי רי. רשענו, שיחדנו, תיעבנו, טעינו, תיתנו, לי רה רי רי רי, יא לה לה לי רי רי, יא לה לה לי רי רי.
Please remain standing if you are able. We are going to open the ark at this time. And as the choir sings a number of melodies, we're going to take a few moments to allow anyone who would like to come forward and have a private prayer, either in front of the ark or next to one of the Holocaust Torahs that I'm going to be putting on the sides of the sanctuary. We're going to ask everyone to please, please, please use the ramps. Do not step off the front of the bima. We'd like no one to fall. But the idea is that you now get a private moment between you and the Torah, you and God, you and your family, whatever you might need over the next few minutes. I'm going to let the choir begin singing as people begin to come forward.
Amen.
מושיענו. הוא אלוהינו אבינו ומלכנו מושיענו. והוא ישמיענו ברחמיו שנית, שני לעיני כל חי. והוא ישמיענו ברחמיו שנית, שני לעיני כל חי. הוא אלוהינו, הוא אבינו, הוא מלכנו, הוא מושיענו. הוא אלוהינו, הוא אבינו, הוא מלכנו, הוא מושיענו. והוא ישמיענו ברחמיו שנית, שני לעיני כל חי. והוא ישמיענו ברחמיו שנית, שני לעיני כל חי. ביטולי שערי צדק אבובם אודיה. ביטולי שערי צדק אבובם אודיה. צא השער
As the last people come up to the Torah, we're going to continue our service. If you're in the pews, I'm going to ask you to stand once again if you're able. And we're going to turn to page 662. Page 662, please rise for Avinu Malkeinu. Avinu Malkeinu, our parent, our sovereign, we speak in metaphor, in images we understand. We want an external voice to forgive us, but that voice, the voice of forgiveness, is inside each one of us, inside of our hearts. As a community, we can be heard. We can fight against sickness, war, and famine. We can end depression. Together we can write a book of life where life is respected, where the world is a better place. And now I will read the Avinu Malkeinu. Please join me in the Hebrew or the English, or both. Avinu Malkeinu kabel barachamim uvratzon et tefilatenu. Avinu Malkeinu, almighty and merciful, welcome our prayer with love, accept it and embrace it. Avinu Malkeinu, aseh lama'an rechamecha harabim. Avinu Malkeinu, act for the sake of your boundless compassion. Avinu Malkeinu, aseh imanu lama'an shmecha. Avinu Malkeinu, act toward us as befits your name. Avinu Malkeinu, hotmenu b'sefer parnasa v'chal kala. Avinu Malkeinu, seal us in the book of sustenance and livelihood. Avinu Malkeinu, hotmenu b'sefer zechuyot. Avinu Malkeinu, seal us in the book of worthiness and merit. Avinu Malkeinu, hotmenu b'sefer slicha umichila. Avinu Malkeinu, seal us in the book of forgiveness and pardon. Avinu Malkeinu, hotmenu b'sefer chayim tovim. Avinu Malkeinu, seal us in the book of lives well lived. Avinu Malkeinu, hotmenu b'sefer geula vishu'ah. Avinu Malkeinu, seal us in the book of redemption and renewal. Avinu Malkeinu, maleh yedenu mi birchotecha. Avinu Malkeinu, let our hands overflow with your blessing. Avinu Malkeinu, petach she'arei shamayim v'lit filatenu. Avinu Malkeinu, let the gates of heaven be open to our prayers. Avinu Malkeinu, chadesh aleinu shana tova. Avinu Malkeinu, renew us for a year of goodness. Avinu Malkeinu, ein lanu melech ela ata. Avinu Malkeinu, we have no sovereign but you. Avinu Malkeinu, chonenu v'anenu, ki ein banu ma'asim. Aseh imanu, tzedakah v'chesed v'hoshienu. Avinu Malkeinu, almighty and merciful, answer us with grace when our deeds are wanting. Save us through acts of justice and love. The singing of Avinu Malkeinu.
Avinu Malkeinu, Chanenu Vanenu. Avinu Malkeinu, Chanenu Vanenu, Yen Banu Masim, Aseh Imanu, Tzedakah v'chesed, Aseh Imanu, Tzedakah v'chesed, v'hoshienu. Avinu Malkeinu, Chanenu Vanenu. Avinu Malkeinu, Chanenu Vanenu, Yen Banu Masim.
Page 671. As the Sabbath of Sabbath ends, we say from the heart, living source, you are ours, we are yours. From beyond time and space, You hold your hand to receive us. Together, living source, you are ours, we are yours. You are the sovereign of remembrance, the voice of holiness. Your presence lights the way. Living source, you are ours, we are yours. Shema Yisrael, hear the shofar, witness to history, thunder to our souls. Living source, you are ours, we are yours. Happy are those who love the sound of the shofar and the mystic chords of memory. Living source, you are ours, we are yours. Hear the shofar, hear its cry of freedom, its call of courage. Cherish its promise of hope. We are on page 672. All right, so we are going to recite the Shema together right now. A little clergy confusion, it happens occasionally at the end of the day. Let's take a deep breath in and out. In and out. Let us recite together Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Adonai Hu HaElohim. 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 Now for the singing of what I just read.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Adonai Hu HaElohim. Adonai Hu HaElohim. Adonai Hu HaElohim. Adonai Hu HaElohim.
I'm going to ask Doug to stand center stage as we do our shofar calls for the last time this high holy day season. Tekiah, Shevarim, Trua, Tekiah Gedolah. Yasher Koach, L'shana haba'ah b'Yerushalayim. I could have the Havdalah set brought to me. We're going to do Havdalah, and then after we do Havdalah, we can all go into the community break fast. Sorry? Okay, I can't do that right now. It's fine. Havdalah is the ceremony that separates Shabbat from the rest of the week. And in a moment, we'll light this candle. We will light the candle. If I only had a match. Can I get a lighter? Thank you. And as we began the holiday with candlelight, we began Shabbat actually with candlelight. So do we end this Yom Tov, this good day, and the Shabbat. But this time we use a braided candle to show the power of community coming together, to show the strength of many brands or many strands coming together. And the idea is that as a community we shine a much brighter light. When we stand together, the light we shine can affect so many. When we come together, we truly can become a holy people that does holy acts. We begin with the Kiddush, the blessing over the wine, the sweetness that reminds us of the sweetness of the Shabbat and the Yom Tov we just celebrated. Cool. Put your arms around one another, please. Samim.
Nasi. Shana Tova, Shana Tova, Shana Tova, Shana Tova. A good year, a year of peace. May gladness reign and joy increase.
That looks good, doesn't it? It's from me and Joel, okay? We'll see you later. We're going to do hamotzi, then please come forward and get some challah. I'm probably going to place this on a table around here, and then go in the other room and break your fast. It's been wonderful spending Yom Kippur with all of you. And now the hamotzi.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz b'te'avon.
This concludes the service. Go get some challah, go to the break fast. We have one more song, I guess, as you're walking out and getting challah.
Shalom,